I'd like to welcome you to BeMoreNews.com. We're here with Daren Muhammad in front of the Mitchell Courthouse, the Ken Harris trial. Some more facts.
Yes. Well, again, Miss Monica Foreman Robinson, who took the stand, and she said that she had known Ken for 6 months. She met him at M&T Bank where they did banking. But when she got up on the stand for her testimony, she couldn't remember what kind of car they were in, whether it was a 2-door or a 4-door. She went on to say that the robber or the shooter, she said she didn't hear the shots, but she said that he had dreadlocks. This is what she said. And none of these young men have any locks.
Okay, it was a 4-door BMW, correct?
No, he was driving the Toyota Corolla that night.
Oh, okay.
Right. And it was a 4-door Toyota Corolla. But she did say that the shooter had dreadlocks, and neither Charles McGaney, Gary Collins, or Jerome Williams has dreadlocks.
Okay, so what's this about a trash bag?
Well, what happened was in the surveillance that we saw that was inside of the Havens Lounge that we've watched, that there was Keith Covington who said that the robbers, once they went into his office, now a strange thing was that everywhere inside the Havens Lounge they have surveillance except Keith Covington's office where they have the safe and where they take money from the cash register and put in the safe. So he said that once the robbers got inside of the office, they took the trash, not out, but they took the trash and dumped the trash out because they needed a bag in order to put the loot in a bag. And that these robbers believed that there was $13,000 in Keith Covington's safe, but once they didn't recover $13,000, you would think that the code of the street says, if I've already shot Ken Harris, or I already shot somebody outside, and I'm convinced that this owner has $13,000 in a safe, and I don't get $13,000 out the safe, why didn't they pop Keith Covington? Why didn't they shoot Keith Covington? So there's just many holes to the story regarding
why am I going to shoot somebody outside before I even get inside to find out where the money is?
Absolutely. Why would you shoot before you rob? Everybody knows the code of the street says you rob, and then you may have to shoot on your way out. I got a nephew in jail now that was a part of the Wesley Moore, the other Wesley Moore, which I shared with you. They're in jail because when they robbed Brown's jewelry store out in Pikesville, they robbed the store and was running out the store with the jewelry. And when the officer drew down on them and shot at him, the off-duty security officer, who was a Baltimore County police officer, then they returned fire. But they didn't shoot him until after they robbed the store. So this is just the code of the street.
What else is in today's paper that regarding this case that raises any questions or that people should know about?
One of the other strange twists to the story is that the attorney Bivens, who's one of the attorneys for Jerome Williams, said that when Councilman Harris realized that this was a robbery, he said to Keith Covington, "Oh shit, you set me up." And then he calls out his wife Annette's name. This is in today's paper, that he calls out his wife Annette's name.
That's the Baltimore Sun.
This is Sunday's paper, but I have today's paper.
Okay.
But it's the Baltimore Sun. Yes. But he calls out his wife Annette's name. So a lot of this is being missed with the election and post-election coverage going on, that all of the news media was in the courtroom yesterday when they heard this from the attorney. But none of them on any of the news media, from print news media to video news media and audio news media, have even mentioned what I'm mentioning to you here on BeMoreNews.com. That Ken Harris said, "You set me up." Oh shit, is what he said to Keith Covington. And then he ran down the steps.
Will Keith Covington be consequently charged?
That we don't know. That would be left up, I'm sure, to the state's attorney's office. And that would be left up to the state's attorney's office if she would,
I mean, something doesn't sound correct about this story. It just doesn't add up.
There's a lot that just don't add up with this story. And again, from the 4 shooters, and when, we looked at the surveillance, you could clearly see that there were a number of robbers that were inside. Could have been more than 4. We do know there was a big Baltimore music festival going on for 2 or 3 days inside the Havens Lounge, and there were bands coming as far as from New York. I've talked to witnesses that were inside the Havens Lounge. I can't give their names because I promised them that I would not, but they were even told, the barmaids, that we're going to get robbed tonight. Now, these witnesses were told this between 11:30
man.
and 12 o'clock.
Don't show up for work.
Sounds like 9/11 is we giving you the 411 on what happened on 9/20/08 to our brother.
Are you serious?
That they were told that there was going to be a robbery tonight. And so the question you may have to ask was, one, was this and could this have been as that political hit and an inside job? And if there's money to be made off of this hit, in terms of an insurance fund or an insurance premium on a robbery that may have taken place inside of the Havens Lounge. So there's so many questions that Keith Covington, that Miss Monica Robinson, and even the security guard, Jerome Taylor, who testified, who said that he could identify these 3 young men, but all of the video footage is grainy in terms of those 3 young men walking past the Save-A-Lot. But
have the young men been pulled to the stand yet?
No, they've not been brought to the stand yet.
I really look forward to hearing what they have to say.
Right. Clearly. So do I.
And then if they are in fact not the persons who committed the shooting.
Murders are still out there and still on the street. Or, as I heard Commissioner Billfield say the day after the shooting, he said, we don't know if the murders have even left town now. So why would the police commissioner, from my perspective, even jump to that kind of conclusion?
Are you disappointed? Are you shocked? Is it surprising that an elected official here in the city of Baltimore gets taken out by a bullet, or 2 or 3, and there isn't more concern? Well, there isn't more attention being paid to this case.
If we were in another city, Donnie, I would be shocked. But we're talking about
if you were a white elected official, do you think that anything would be different?
I think there would be a lot of things would be different.
I mean, because when the Hispanic guy got killed over in Fells Point recently, there was immediate attention when the Hopkins student stabbed and killed the man with a sword.
Right. Mr. Riaz and Mr. Pecan.
That looked like straight murder to me.
Right. Well, you're talking about Pontilio, who killed Mr. Rice.
Yeah.
Right.
The man, I don't know anybody who lunges onto a sword.
Right. That's right. That's right.
No matter how schizo they are.
Right. That's right.
But there's seemingly very little attention being paid to this case.
That's right.
By the powers that be.
That's right, clearly. And what they're saying, directly or indirectly, when you can take one of our best, then what does that say to the rest of us in the city of Baltimore? When you can take one of our best that had the potential to be the next mayor, the next city council president, the next governor, whatever it is he wanted to be. Because I know he had the best interests of black people and ultimately all citizens in Baltimore City as his best interest. But when you can take one of our best and nothing is done, that not one elected official has even been in this courtroom, Donnie. I've been here almost every day, every other day, and when I'm not here, we got some of our own court reporters. Not one elected official outside of City Clerk Frank Conaway has even been in the courtroom to be an ear witness or an eyewitness to what is going on around the death of a councilman and a former elected official in the city of Baltimore. So what does that say?
Says to me that a strong black man is not welcome in Baltimore.
Well, not just welcome, but he is a target, as we've often seen the eye of the sniper in all of the Public Enemy's albums and CDs, that he is under, again, the sniper and the watchful eye or in the crosshairs.
Okay, a gubernatorial election coming up. Ehrlich O'Malley, what's it looking like?
Well, again, due to what you and I have always talked about, a black agenda. Absent a black agenda, then we can't reduce this to a beauty contest. But we're those that really truly love our people and love the fact that we have to prepare a future for our children, and we got to look at sitting down and have a real big sit down, not to sit it out, but to have a black agenda. But what we saw yesterday and witnessed yesterday, we can never forget when November comes around. We got to be willing to say, as the gentleman said in the movie V for Vendetta, and not the 5th of November, but come the 2nd of November, we shall remember what you did or did not do for us at a time that we needed you to stand up and come forward and endorse Miss Patricia Jessamine. And so let's look back 1 year ago today. There were 4 black women that was holding the major offices in the city of Baltimore. But now, 1 year later, there's 2 down and 2 to go. Sheila Dixon is gone as I speak. The sun is setting on Mrs. Jessamine's office and her political career. So that means that Joan Pratt is not far off on the radar, as well as Stephanie Rawlins Blake. And then God knows who else in Annapolis, whether it be Joan Carter Conaway, Senator Jones, Senator Kathy Pugh, Senator McFadden, Senator Lisa Gladden. Any of them could be next when we look at what happened recently with Ulysses Carey having to step down from his seat or his chair in the seat. So he's been reduced to a freshman at the age of 73 years old in Annapolis.
Okay. You on the radio?
On the radio every Tuesday through Saturday. Soul Classics 1590 WFBR, where we give you that truth with the proof up in the booth.
12 noon.
12 noon.
The one and only Daren Muhammad. We love and respect you, sir.
Love and respect you.
Keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.